Hello and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Thank you very much for joining me in today's video. Now, a couple of weeks ago we had the release of Sim Update 11 / the 40th anniversary update for Microsoft Flight Simulator, and in that, amongst many other things, 2 new types of aircraft were available to fly, and one of them was the helicopter. So in this video I'm going to attempt to fly a helicopter for the first time in a decade. It has been 10 years or more since I've last flown a helicopter, and that was the Bell 206 Jet Ranger. This is the successor to it, so it should look familiar to me inside, but the question is, can I still fly it? There's only one way to find out. Make sure you stay tuned. I have switched off all the assists, so this should not be one of those situations where the assist will help me. If this goes wrong, this is going to go wrong quite spectacularly. It is a helicopter after all. Okay, so here we are parked up, or just before runway 27 at London City Airport, Echo Golf Lima Charlie, and we are going to be taking off. But before we do that, I'm just going to move around the cockpit slightly and set up some more lights and make sure that those are switched on. I do have developer mode on, hence why you can see the top bar, but I do quite like that. Logo lights can go on, broadcast master can go on. Let's see, what else do we have? Air conditioning, sure, that can go on. Heater, position lights, pitot heat, strobe lights, puzzle lights? I think that's supposed to be pulse lights, but there we go. There should be a landing light somewhere. Little bit of instruments lighting, shouldn't need too much. Where are the the landing lights are probably down here, right? Yes, they are. There they are. Taxi lights on, landing lights on. Should I have that? Oh, I broke the landing lights. Hello. That was interesting. Should we have landing lights on? I think taxi light, just flying around with taxi lights should be perfectly fine. Control and space to get us back to where we want to be, and hopefully we shall not crash. Right, so I've got everything mapped out correctly. Now, if I remember correctly, this aircraft, or this helicopter, it is an aircraft, is going to have a tendency to spin immediately to the right, so I'm going to have to put in some rudder input, which is going to adjust the pitch on the tail rotor to stop that happening. However, in doing so, I'm then going to induce a thrust from the tail pushing in the right direction, so in stopping the spin I'm going to end up veering over to the right, so therefore I'm going to need to use the cyclic, which is the joystick. We're going to have to use the cyclic to push to the left, so you can just about see that slight movement there as I'm pushing left and right. So I'm going to have to push to the left to try and get this to not go flying. This is going to be interesting. I'm going to zoom in a little. I'm going to do that. Why does that look blurred? Have I still got... hold on, I'm just going to check my graphics here. No, that's TAA. That should be okay. It just looks a little bit blurrier than it should be. Oh well. Let's zoom in a little so that you guys can read the displays fairly well. I think about there should be okay. That's good enough for display reading. Here we go. Very gently bring the collective up. The aircraft will start to... there it goes. Bring that up. And there's that movement. Whoa. So, I need to try and get it to not do what I'm about to do. Oh, it's going in the water. Okay, well, let's just bring it up above the water then to start off, and try and settle it in ground effect a little. We are spinning. There we go. Now the key to flying a helicopter, that was actually pretty poor to start with. The key to flying a helicopter, I know, is very gentle movements. We're currently moving backwards. That is not what I want to be doing. So just gentle movements all the way around to try and get the helicopter moving in the direction you want it to move. Okay, so that was not a great takeoff, but we are slowly moving into directional flight, and things are about to get easier. So, for the first takeoff in a decade, not bad, not great, not bad. Let's start banking the helicopter around. So the way a helicopter works, you've got your cyclic, which will be really used for turn coordination, and am I still going to be spinning? Yes. So I need to put a little bit more. That seems like too much to have to be putting in at this point in time. But anyway, the cyclic is responsible for the bank angles of the aircraft, as well as the pitching forward and backwards, similar to a yoke. And the cyclic is also, that pitching backwards and forwards is what is going to be responsible for the speed of the aircraft. And then we use the collective to control our altitude, basically. But that being said, the collective is a change in pitch, and of course changing your angles of attack, your bank angles, your attitude is going to have an impact on your lift. So you are going to have to adjust the collective. But also, because this is a helicopter, the closer you are to the ground, the more I believe it wants to suck into the ground, to be sucked into the ground. So you have to bear that in mind as well. But at the moment we've got some decent flying going on. I'm just trying to get ourselves into a more reasonable flight, which is not happening. Yeah, that's not happening. Come on. It seems to just have this tendency to want to be drifting. See, that is how we should be flying. But for some reason I have... So we've got two rudder pedals, and those two rudder pedals adjust the flight of the helicopter, the tail of the helicopter, using the tail rotor. So not using a rudder or a tail fin. But for some reason I'm having to keep a bit of left stick in there, which is not good. That is not good at all. That's a decent picture though. Now I am managing to hold about 900 feet and roughly about 80 knots, which is pretty good. So we're just going to continue over London. Where should we head? Is the big question. Where should we head? So we've got let's see, what do we have down here? So this is coming up to Limehouse right now. So obviously there's the Limehouse tunnel, which is not going to be useful at all to us. We've got a few main roads there heading towards Whitechapel. We've got the Docklands Light Railway. So I'm just trying to get an idea of where I currently am in relation. So I think that there is the A13 just underneath us. So if we follow this railway, that's going to take us directly into the city. So you can see the Shard over on the left hand side with London Bridge Station. You've got the Tower of London. If I just move this here, there we go. There's the Tower of London on the left hand side with Tower Bridge. You've also got the Gherkin dead ahead. I think that's the NatWest building, which is taller than I think it actually is in real life. I am drifting. Why am I drifting? I should not be drifting. This aircraft is drifting. That is not the correct tendency of this helicopter, I do not think. I think that is it the Leadenhall building? You've got St Paul's Cathedral up ahead. So this is Bank, this is the financial centre of the UK, of actually quite a lot of Europe as well. I think recently it's lost that position. Oh no, that's the NatWest building. Why are things popping in as well? That tall building I do not think should be there. Also, I thought I had photogrammetry on. This does not look like photogrammetry, so that is a little weird. Let's fly over House of Parliament and that area. You can see Buckingham Palace. It'll appear in a moment. That there is the BT Tower. That's Buckingham Palace, Jubilee Gardens, Charing Cross Bridge, House of Parliament, Millennium Wheel just behind there, there it is, or London Eye, whatever you want to call it, Waterloo Station, this is St James Park, that's Green Park, Hyde Park, Regent's Park just out there, Wembley Stadium, Heathrow's out there, just out there in that direction. Yes, just a little tour of London. Now, interestingly enough, actually, so a couple of weeks ago, this is Horse Guards Parade and Horse Guards HMRC headquarters. A couple of weeks ago, Westminster Bridge, sorry, I'm just pointing out all sorts of stuff now. Lambeth Bridge, it's supposed to be Vauxhall Bridge, I'm not sure what's happened there. A couple of weeks ago, I was in London, and I happened to be walking down Birdcage Walk, which is this road here. So this is Victoria Street, this Birdcage Walk. And see this section here, now it's actually a lot narrower than what Microsoft Flight Simulator actually has got in here. But that section there, a helicopter came in and just landed. It just, out of nowhere, it just came down, landed there. I think it was Army. Now, I would like to attempt that, but I do not think I'm capable. So for my practice, what I'm going to do is fly over Oxford Street. That's Oxford Street, A40 Oxford Street just there. And that's the Westway, that's where the A40 continues. That's Marble Arch, Park Lane, this is Mayfair. It does look a lot nicer than what you currently see. What I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can land in Regent's Park. So the first thing I need to do is start slowing the aircraft down. So to do that, I'm going to reduce the collective because I no longer want to be gaining altitude, whilst bringing back, there we go, whilst bringing the nose of the aircraft back a little. And that's going to start putting me into a descent. Now, the way, oops, I just knocked my own flight controller. So the way this works with a helicopter, as far as I am aware, is that it's just like a glide slope. You have to imagine your own glide slope as you bring the aircraft down. So I know where I want to land. I'm going to aim to land somewhere there where it looks like we have cricket fields or football pitches or something. So that is where I want to land my helicopter. Now in order to do that, first off I need to slow down, which I have, because it is going to come up to us, it is going to come up pretty quickly, and then I'm going to start a descent. Now as I get closer to the ground, I'm going to have to add a bit more collective, more and more collective into it, and also start kicking the rudder in, although I'm already kicking the rudder a little. Okay, here we go. Start really slowing the aircraft down and descending. So we're doing 40 now. I need to slow down to a near hover. I've not attempted a helicopter landing in a long time. I've not attempted a helicopter flight in a long time, as I mentioned. So we do not want to be drifting too much. We do not want to be overcompensating either. I think we haven't got this correct though. No, we haven't got this correct. Okay, so I'm going to turn around. So the important thing about this is I need to... Let's try and find another spot. Keep it nice and slow. Try and find another spot to bring the aircraft down. How about this area here? Here we go. So you can see that now I am sort of drifting to the left and I'm descending quite quickly. There's trees here. I was not expecting that. I'm a little bit closer to where I need to be. And I spun a little, but I've sorted myself out. So what happened there is I let out the rudder, and essentially in letting out the rudder, the aircraft went into a tail happy spin. So you've really got to keep that rudder. It's got to be really fine movements, where what I did just there was clearly not a fine movement. Maybe try and keep some forward momentum as I do this. But you can see just how little movement is needed to get this helicopter doing what it needs to do. Right, drop that collective. Here we go. We're now descending. Try to not spin it. Add a little bit more collective as I go along. Nope. It's just I'm pushing the nose forward, unfortunately. And in doing so, I'm causing more and more issues. Here we go. Here we go. This is looking better. No, come on, keep it coming down. Keep it coming down. Slight stick there, that way. There we go. No, do not want the spin. Keep it coming down, keep it coming down. Gentle as possible. No. I hit ground effect there. Okay. There we go, we're down. Okay, that was a little harsher than perhaps I would like, but that is what I could call a valid landing. So, let's try and take off again. In fact, let's have a look outside before we do that, and then perhaps we'll try and take off. Oh dear, that's a terrible look. Let's try and rotate that in the correct fashion. Is it that way? There we go. That's not where I want to be. There we go. Okay. Slightly better look there. Well, if it could focus on the right thing, please. There we go. And we'll take a quick screenshot of that. Perhaps that can be the thumbnail. Let's try a takeoff again. So that wasn't horrible for my first landing. Now let's try and do another takeoff. So I'm going to again have that rudder ready and have that slight sidewards motion ready as well. Too much. That's too much. Come on. There we go. Okay. I need to somehow stop it from... One of the things that I've noticed I'm doing is I seem to get it going backwards for some reason. It's as if it's slightly out of trim. It just wants to push backwards as opposed to, well, in the direction that we really want it to fly. Okay, so I'll go ahead and lift the nose further. Also, I've learnt that I need to disable the stupid Xbox game bar on my laptop. And let's go ahead and... That was a better takeoff than last time. Let's go ahead and attempt to fly. Where should we fly? Let's go south of the river. Is there anywhere else we could attempt to land it? I'm not going to attempt to land it in that place where I saw the helicopter landing it for real. That is not somewhere that I'm going to be able to do that. See, that tendency to spin, that I do not think is correct. Because at this speed, I do not think we should be spinning like that. We are very much drifting, and that is not... That does not seem to make sense to me. I think there's something incorrect there. Let's go south of the river anyway. And I'm just wondering if that is what is causing a little bit more trouble. I say south of the river. What if we land in Hyde Park or St James Park or Buckingham Palace? Could we land on the Mall? It is a police helicopter. You would expect a police helicopter to be able to do that. I've seen an air ambulance land in Parliament Square before, so that is another possibility. Like, that there is theoretically enough space to land a helicopter. I just do not think I have the skills to do such a thing. Let's go ahead and reduce the collective. Stop our climb and just let ourselves ease into the speed that we currently have, which is going to be about 65 knots. Nice and easy. We could attempt to land at Horse Guards. That's another possibility. Now, should I attempt this? I'm just going to have a look south of the river and see if there's anywhere south of the river. Ooh, Lord's the Oval. I think that's the Oval cricket pitch. I think. I do not know which one it is. Lord's or the Oval, one or the other. One's next to Paddington, the other one's just there, near Elephant and Castle. I just do not know which one this one is. I could attempt to land it on there. I mean, it's a large area. Try a much better landing. Okay, let's try a far more controlled landing now then. So we'll bring the collective back. Let's slow ourselves right the way down. There we go. I think we need to slow ourselves further, and I'll bring the collective back further to really start dropping this speed and altitude. Altitude is dropping very nicely now. Just looking out of the... So really we look outside like this to see how quickly we are descending. I believe they call it a rate of closure in helicopters. Okay, we are doing 30 knots. That's faster than the average speed that you would be doing in central London anyway. Now perhaps if I start looking like this, and this is why you have windows down here, by the way. It's so that you can really get an idea of where you are headed, where you need to aim. There it goes. It's just a very quick spin for some reason. Okay, we are now descending very rapidly, but I'm going to increase the collective and try to... No, this isn't working. This is worse than the last one. Actually, it isn't quite as bad. Increase the collective, increase the collective. No. That's now lifting. I'm now over my landing zone. So I'm not there. And and now I'm drifting, so I need to try and stop that drift before anything goes wrong. I'm now circling. This would be great if, for example, there was something here to look at, but there truly isn't. Increase collective. Come on. No, 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 no. Whoa, I hit ground effect suddenly. Perhaps because it was just over that building. Okay, we are within the cricket ground. That's one positive. As to where exactly, how exactly I'm going to drop this aircraft, though, I do not know. Wait, we are bringing it down. It's not very stable. So the problem I'm having here, and maybe somebody will be able to help, is that when I start bringing the aircraft down, I seem to sort of fly. As you can see, it just flies. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa! Bring it down, bring it down, bring it down. Okay, I've managed to bring the aircraft down. So the problem I'm having is that I cannot seem to keep the aircraft level, as it were. It seems to want to move around. It seems to want to continuously, what's the right term? Just oscillate and rotate, which of course it makes perfect sense thinking about it, but that is what is causing me some of these problems. So what I really need to do is I really need to figure out how to land this aircraft and take it off without doing that oscillation. So maybe let me start bringing it up into hover. There's that movement. And now if I do this, see, it starts doing that. That's not what I'm trying to get it to do. See, there's that movement there, and then there's that movement backwards. And then suddenly it spins in the other direction. It's very strange. Anyway, let's go ahead and do a takeoff. Say do a takeoff, but apparently no, it's taking off. Or not. Now I need to stabilize this. Yeah, this is not a stable takeoff. It's also the transition from being within that ground effect to, well, this. Once I'm here, not a problem. As you can see, I can fly this. I still think that the rudder is being kicked over way too much. I may not know much about helicopters, but I'm fairly sure that is being kicked over way too much. But I think that is also a good time to end this video, so that is where I'm going to end. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to hit the like button if you like this video. Subscribe to the channel for more videos on Microsoft Flight Simulator. I will be doing some more. Leave a comment in the comments box below letting me know what you think. Don't forget to support me on Patreon if you can do so at www.patreon.com/ecgadget. Your supports would be massively appreciated. It would really help me out. And also you can find me on social media at ecgadgetlp on Instagram and potentially Twitter. I'm not so sure about that one anymore. Lastly, do go check out my Discord server. Link is in the description box below. It's just a couple of channels at the moment, a couple of public channels, but it shall be growing, and hopefully you can be a part of that. That is all from me, and I shall see you next time in Microsoft Flight Simulator.